Welcome to my kitchen. I'm Kathy Hester of plant-based-instantpot.com and healthyslowcooking.com. Today we're going to make some brown rice horchata. So if you're not sure, horchata is a traditional Mexican drink that's made with almonds, rice, and cinnamon. So it's super easy. In fact, this is what the end result is like. See how thick and creamy that is? And it's infused with cinnamon flavor. And it's also really good in a nice coffee. So keep watching and I'll show you all the details on how to make it. It's very, very easy. Basically, I'm going to put some rinsed brown rice in here. It's a quarter cup. And then I'm going to put a quarter cup of almonds. And this is a cinnamon stick. And let me see if I can get that a little closer. This is the kind you find in Mexican places. So like Hispanic supermarkets or a Mexican food store. And it's really tasty. It's much thinner than some of the others, and it is going to crumble a little bit. And we'll see that when I have to take some out. So I'm going to throw that in, put the almonds in, which is also a quarter cup. And then I'm going to put 4 cups of water in. So you can do this the traditional way, which is to soak everything overnight. We're just doing it the same way that we do the Instant Pot almond milk to kind of speed it up and let us have it right now instead of waiting. And I don't know about you, but I like it. So I'm going to close this on. And I am just not having things together today. Let me see. So I've got it on sealing, and then I'm going to pressure cook for 10 minutes on high pressure. And one thing that you'll notice about the Milfies is that you're going to see a lot more steam come out. That's the Milfie saying, hello! And you can use an Instant Pot, you can use a Milfie, you can use your Fagor. Anything that is an electric pressure cooker that has a pressure cooker setting will be fine. I just wanted to let you know, because I know some of you have gotten Milfies and had some concerns, but it's just the natural way, and we should see that happening momentarily. If I can get that camera back. Yep. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is show you, this was cooked, and you'll see it go in there. Now, because I used that cinnamon stick, there's some pieces, right? So this is a little harder. Actually, in the recipe, I got all like cute and like crumbled them up, and then basically I had to take out every tiny piece. So do not make that mistake. And we just don't want that much cinnamon flavor that we puree a whole stick in there. That would not be good. So I am looking through now to see if I can find some more pieces of that. I could also just strain it and look, but I'm feeling kind of sassy. So this is the way I'm doing it today. And so again, I'm just looking through and picking out the pieces of cinnamon. If you get your cinnamon at an Indian market or just the American grocery, it's not going to do that. It's not that it's bad at all, it's just different. I do find that sometimes this infuses a little more cinnamon flavor. So what I'm going to do, this way so you can see better, then I'm going to pour this in here and possibly grab out some more cinnamon as we go along. So I'm going to be, there's a cinnamon piece. And the rice kind of stays in the bottom, so that's not so hard. I want to make sure to scrape all this out. So the rice in this would not be rice that you would necessarily be ready to eat, right? Because we just cooked it for 10 minutes. But all we're doing is we're making a beverage out of it. So that does change kind of the whole game of it. And I'm going to have a strainer. And you could use a nut milk bag. So after we blend this, we're going to strain it so we can strain all that pulp out. Actually, I think I'm going to use this little strainer. I don't know what I was thinking about the big strainer, because I want it to be fine mesh if I'm really going to do it well. So it is going to be a minute, but this is going to be kind of loud. So if you've just joined, just so you know, what we've done is we've cooked a 1/4 cup of brown rice, almonds, and 4 cups of water with a cinnamon stick in an Instant Pot for 10 minutes. Okay. So I've done that. And also in this video up above, there is a link to the recipe. So don't worry about that, but it's super simple. So then we've softened them by cooking it in the Instant Pot. And thank you, Matthew, for being here. And now I'm going to puree this. So hold your ears. Okay, you should be safe now. So the one thing I did not tell you though is, so after the mixture was cooked and it was still warm, I put in some sugar, and I usually put in about 1/2 cup of sugar. If you don't eat any refined sugars at all, you could use stevia, you can use maple syrup, you can even put in some whole dates, maybe probably start with 4 or 5, and you could puree it in with this, and that would be a way to date sweeten it. So there should be a method that would work for your diet. Okay. Let me move this guy out. I was hoping he would show you the steam spewing now, so let's see if that'll still happen. All right, so I'm just going to pour this through, and this is actually like a really great strainer, and I'll tell you more about it another time. It's a Jamie Oliver strainer, but it's double mesh, so I find that it works really well. And you can see how everything is just falling through. And here it is. So when I'm doing this with a strainer, usually I just use a spatula or something, so it helps it move, because they get clogged, right? So this helps it unclog or be unthicc. And so you can kind of see that. So that's what we're straining out. Now, traditional horchata is often much whiter than this. This is kind of a beige-ish color. And that's because we used raw almonds with the skins on. So we could use blanched almonds, and that would give it a more traditional look. It would look much whiter, like milk. And that goes for you when you're making almond milk as well. So you could do that instead. You know, I don't know why I don't, but I think it's just because usually they're a little cheaper, and I save those blanched almonds that I get and hoard away in my nut container. I hoard those usually for some kinds of vegan cheeses so that they look a little more white. And if any of you guys have questions, I see that more of you have come on. So what we're doing is I'm straining the rice and almond fiber out of the horchata mixture that we cooked in the Instant Pot. And again, if you're watching this and you don't have an Instant Pot, you could totally let this sit overnight. So before you go to bed, put the water, rice, almonds, and cinnamon stick into your vitamix container, cover it. In the morning, take out the cinnamon stick, blend, and then it's just the same thing. This is just a way so that we can do it without pre-planning very much at all. I mean, all you have to do is have these things on hand. And most of us usually have brown rice and things like that. If you don't have whole cinnamon stick, you could use cinnamon, just ground cinnamon, but it's going to kind of muddy things up a little bit, so I'm not sure that that would be the way I'd want to go. However, if you want some, and that's what you've got, that's what you should use. And I've also made this before with oats almonds and brown rice. So using like steel cut oats the same way to kind of add some of that. And again, you can kind of see there's not a whole lot we're straining out, but as far as mouthfeel goes, this makes a big difference. So it's from being grainy to being really smooth and yummy. So pour some into this container so you can see it from the side. There you go. So see how it's kind of beige-ish? When you smell it, you definitely can smell the cinnamon. It's not super strong because, again, we're infusing it. We're not actually like pureeing it in there. So, and you get a little bit of the almond smell. And I think the brown rice just kind of adds some bulk. Wait, I'm going to do this real quick. And I don't know if you can see in this light, this thing. Can you see it here? Yeah, you can see it a little bit. You might just see it up here. This is something that doesn't happen in a brand Instant Pot that will happen with the Milky. But see how it stops as soon as this comes up, that it's gone up to pressure. So if you're using a Milky, just don't panic on that, okay? Because it's all going to be okay. And then I'm cooking it for 10 minutes. So again, kind of to go back to the beginning, what I put in there was a 1/4 cup of brown rice, a 1/4 cup of raw almonds, and a cinnamon stick, and 4 cups of water. And again, link to the recipe on plantbasedinstantpot.com is above this. And then I just took out the cinnamon stick, then I pureed everything together, and I strained it to make this. Horchata going on. And it's still warm, and it's so good, you guys. I wish I could share some of it with you right now. You can make it as sweet as you want, or not as sweet. Those of you, again, who don't do any kind of refined sugars, you could have put 4 or 5 dates with that and pureed to get kind of that date natural sweetener. What I did is, while the mixture was still hot, is I took some vegan sugar and put in there. You could use Belgian nectar, you could use maple syrup, you could use stevia. Whatever you use, you're going to try and gauge it to taste. If you're using something liquid, it doesn't need to be all added when it's hot. It can just be sort of warm. If you're using a granulated sugar, I definitely do it when it's still hot. If you do drink coffee, this is so delicious. Make it like an iced coffee, half cold brew coffee, and half horchata, and it's amazing. And that's what I'm getting ready to make.